In the last video, we have discussed about one of the type of the plant tissue. Before that, just again we can recall that the tissues which are found in case of plants are known as plant tissues, and we have done the classification of plant tissues into two types, and the basis of doing the classification is their capacity to divide or not. On that basis, we have classified into two groups. The first one is the meristematic tissues, and the second category is that of the permanent tissue. In meristematic tissue, we have discussed that these tissues are having the cells, and these cells are having the capacity to divide, hence they are known as meristematic tissues. And further, we have done their classification on the basis of their location as apical meristem, then lateral meristem and intercalary meristems. The classification here is done on the basis of their location and the function that we have completed in the last video. Today we will discuss about the second type of the plant tissues, which is known as the permanent tissues. One important point we have to discuss here that normally what happens? Normally, if a cell is there, and we know that the cell consists of the nucleus and cytoplasm. If it is a mature cell, then this mature cell, after attaining its maturity, this cell will undergo the process of cell division. It will undergo the process of cell division. And because of this of cell division, the parental cell, it will lead to the formation of two daughter cells having lesser amount of the cytoplasm and the nucleus. The new daughter cells which are formed, they are smaller in size. So as a result of cell division, the parental cell get divided into two cells. Now the next step here is these cells will undergo the next step, that is called as cell elongation. Cell elongation is the step during which a newly formed cell start growing, and it will develop its size and it will attain the size of the mature cell. So after cell elongation, the cytoplasmic content and the size of the cell is going to be increased, and finally these cells, they will grow and they will attain the size of their parental cell. Now they becomes mature. Now after this, there may be the probability either the cells may have or they can retain the capacity and they can further undergo the process of cell division. That means after attaining their maturity, if they retain their capacity to divide, then they can undergo the process of cell division, and further they will lead to the formation of new cells that we have discussed there. So if the cell retains the capacity to divide, these type of cells, they will lead to the formation of meristematic cells, and these cells will form the meristematic tissue because these cells, they have the capacity to divide. This is the first alternate option. The second option here is that we can take the case that if after the process of cell division, the new cell is formed, and this new cell will undergo the process of cell elongation, and it will attain the shape and the size of the mature cell. After attaining its maturity, this cell, it will depend on the cell, that this cell lost its capacity to divide. So if it will lost its capacity to divide, then what will happen? If it is going to lose its capacity to divide, then This cell start modifying itself, and it can undergo the process of cell differentiation during which this cell will modify its shape and size. It modifies its shape and size, and then it will attain a particular shape. It will attain a particular shape and size, and start performing and performs some spatial functions. So those cells which lost their capacity to divide after attaining maturity, they will undergo the process of cell differentiation, where these cells get specialized. Some extra chemicals may get deposited over them, and they will attain a particular shape and size, and accordingly they will start performing any function. So these type of cells are known as the permanent cells, and the tissues which are formed here, that is known as the permanent tissue. So today we have to discuss about this topic, that is known as the permanent tissue. Already we have discussed the permanent tissues are the tissues these which lost their capacity to divide and attains special shapes and are involved in performing some special functions. One point here we have to discuss is they are also originating from the meristematic cells, but after some time they will attain a particular shape and size. So today's topic is permanent tissue. Now we have already discussed about the permanent tissue. Now we will start doing the classification of permanent tissue. The permanent tissues can further be classified into two types. The classification of the permanent tissue is being done on the basis of the type of the cells from which they are made up of. Type of cells from which they are made up of. So the first classification of the permanent tissue is of simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissues are those permanent tissues which consist of same type of cells. So simple permanent tissues are made up of the cells of same type. That means they are performing similar functions. Whereas the second category is that of the cells which leads to the formation of the next type of the permanent tissue, which is called as complex permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissues are those tissues which are made up of two or more than two types of cells. That means here in this type of cells, permanent tissues, all the cells are not of the same type. So these are the two types of the permanent tissue. The first one is simple permanent and the second one is complex permanent. Already we have discussed the simple permanent tissues are made up of the cells of the same type. That means they are structurally similar and If they are structurally similar, they are going to perform similar function. Now, further, the simple permanent tissue can be classified. The simple permanent tissue can be classified into three types. They are parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. What we have discussed, the simple permanent tissues can further be classified into three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Now, one by one, we will discuss about these three types of tissues. The first one is the parenchyma tissues. The parenchyma tissues are the tissues which consist of the thin-walled living cells. If I'm going to draw the rough diagram of the simple permanent tissue. So, what we have discussed, the parenchymatous tissues are made up of the cells which may be spherical or polygonal in shape. These cells, they are thin-walled. They are having a thin wall that is only made up of the cellulose. So they are thin-walled. These parenchymatous cells, they are having the nucleus and dense cytoplasm. Now we can say they have dense cytoplasm and prominent nucleus. The cells of the parenchyma are loosely packed. Cells are loosely packed. If the cells are loosely packed, we can see in between the cells the presence of the intercellular spaces. So, intercellular space are present. These type of cells, they are highly active. Now, where they are present? These parenchymatous cells, they are present in the soft part of the plants like the tip of the roots and the shoots. They are present in the bud regions. Now, sometime, let us discuss the function of these parenchyma. Function of parenchyma. The main function of the parenchyma is to store. So the main function is storage. Storage of water and food. Sometime the parenchymatous cells get modified. Sometimes the parenchyma modifies and contains chlorophyll, because of which they are green in color, and starts performing the process of photosynthesis and performs photosynthesis. These type of parenchymatous cells which have the chlorophyll are known as chlorenchyma. chlorine chyma, chlorophyll chyma. So the parenchymatous cells having the chlorophyll are known as chlorine chyma, and their main function is to perform the process of photosynthesis. That means they can prepare the food for the plant. Sometimes, in case of aquatic plants, the parenchyma contains air sac and helps in buoyancy and helps the plant to float over the surface of the water. These type of parenchyma are known as parenchyma. So the first type of the simple parent tissue is parenchyma, where the cell wall is thick. The cell wall is only made up of cellulose. They have dense cytoplasm and a prominent nucleus. The cells are loosely packed, having the intercellular space. These cells are very much active, and they are performing these main functions. Now, we will discuss about the second type of the tissue, that is known as collenchyma. The second type of the tissue, that is collenchyma, that is also made up of the parenchyma. But what happens here, that in case of parenchyma, when these parenchymatous cells become older, then in that case at the corners, the thick deposition of a chemical known as pectin takes place. So at the corner, the thick deposition of pectin takes place. Because of this, the cell wall is thickened at the corners. We can see there is a thick deposition of pectin. That means the collenchymatous cells, they are also originated from the parenchymatous cells. But here what happened, let us discuss the important feature of these. The cells are irregular in shape because of deposition of pectin at the corners, and due to this the cells are hexagonal. What we have seen, the thickness of the cell wall is irregular. The cells are irregular, or we can say the thickness of cell wall is irregular. Because of the deposition of the pectin at the corners, what happened? The cells are comparatively tightly packed, and as the cells are tightly packed, we can see less intercellular spaces are present. Why the lesser intercellular spaces are present? Because the gap which was there in case of the intercellular space, in those spaces at the corner, the deposition of the pectin has taken place, and it results into the irregular thickness. If we can take the case that if it is the cell wall, if there is the deposition of the pectin at the corners, then we can see that the thickness is not regular, it becomes irregular. And because of this, what happened? The less amount of cytoplasm is present, and the nucleus is less active. It is consisting of the living cell, but in comparison to the parenchymatous cells, these tissues or the cells are less active. Now, what is the location of these collenchyma? These collenchymatous tissues are present in those part of the plants where we can see those plants parts can shows flexibility. Example, they are present in the twig region, in those parts of branches region where the tissues provide mechanical support as well as flexibility. Now the function. The main function of this collenchyma cell is to provide mechanical support and flexibility. Because of the presence of these collenchymatous cells, some part of the plants, that is near to the base of the leaves and in the stem region, they are providing the support as well as they are able to bend because of the flexibility, because these regions they are made up of the collenchyma. Now the third type of the tissue that we have to discuss today is sclerenchyma. These sclerenchymatous cells, they are considered to be consists of dead cells. The previous two, they consist of the living cell, but this sclerenchyma is made up of that dead cells. How? What happened? Already we have discussed the parenchyma. Some of the parenchyma get modified into collenchyma, and further these collenchymatous cells, if they become older, we have seen in case of collenchyma that the shape of the cell is comparatively hexagonal, having the thickness at the corners. Because of it, the thickness is irregular. The less amount of cytoplasm is there and the nucleus is less active. Now, the cell wall is irregular because of the deposition of the pectin at the corners. Now, if to these collenchyma at each corners, if there is the thick deposition of another layer takes place, which is known as lignin, due to this the cell wall is further thicker. So we consider that it consists of the dead cells because the cell walls are thicker due to deposition of chemical called lignin. This lignin acts like the cementing material and it will not allow anything to come inside as well as outside. And if it will not allow anything to come inside or to go outside, because of this, due to the lack of communication, after some period of time these cells become dead. So cytoplasm and nucleus are absent. The cell wall are thick, hence the intercellular space is negligible. That means the intercellular space is absent. Now these sclerenchymatous cells, they are of two types. They may be sclerates or fibers. Sclerates are those sclerenchymatous cells which are present in the form of spherical or hexagonal structure. They are also known as the stone cells and they are found in the scattered form. Whereas the fibers are those sclerenchymatous cells which have elongated and tapering structures. These fibers are mainly found in case of jute and the covering of the coconut, whereas sclerates we have seen in case of the pear and some other fruits. Now, the function of this sclerenchyma. As this sclerenchyma is made up of the dead cells, so its main function is to provide mechanical support. And because of the presence of the dead cells, it provides the mechanical support, and due to this, these regions becomes very much harder. We have seen the case of the trunk region of the plants where this type of the sclerenchymatous tissues are present. Hence, in this video, we have discussed about the permanent tissues, what is the meaning of permanent tissues, how the permanent tissues being classified into simple and the complex type, and further we have discussed the classification of simple permanent tissue into three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, where the parenchyma is living and more active. The cell walls are very thin, only made up of cellulose. Collenchyma, they are made up of the living cells where the deposition of pectin takes place over the cellulose at the corners, and because of this, the intercellular space is going to be reduced. The last type is the sclerenchyma, which consists of the dead cells because of the additional deposition of another chemical which is known as lignin, which acts like the cementing material, and it will not allow the entry or the exit of any substance, due to which the cells become dead after some time. Okay, good day.